How do you tell someone that you have aesthetically everything you ever wanted, or you have what you thought it would look like, yet you're not happy? How do you say that? And by someone, I'm not talking like a relationship, like the person sleeping next to you. I'm talking about people you work with. I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about close friends who watched you bust your ass to get to where you are or were. And then you say, yo, not like this. Um, I remember when Jerry Maguire came out. The scene that was my personal favorite, what was Cuba Gooding Jr. He's in the kitchen and he's bopping and he's dancing and he's talking about show me the money. And that was like the part of the movie I could relate to the most, and it was just funny, and there were so many like you know, commercials and jokes about it, and late night stand-up comics were and late night show hosts, that's what they were talking about, and he wins this Oscar. But where I am now, what sticks out to me most about that movie is Tom Cruise's character having the fancy suits, having the beautiful girlfriend, having the money, having the hotshot talent, being at all the dope parties, and the scene where he can't sleep at night and he feels compelled to write this memorandum. He feels compelled to talk about the state of the business, or to, it's like he grew a conscience overnight. And May of last year, May of 2016, I called a friend and I said, I don't know what's going on. I'm not happy and I don't know why. And she said, okay, where are you? Let's go for a walk. And that day we walked 9 miles. We walked through Brooklyn, across the Manhattan Bridge, no, excuse me, across the Brooklyn Bridge into Manhattan, back, had brunch, and we just walked and talked. And I decided then that I was going to leave New York. It's like, it's been 16 years. I want to leave. The hardest thing for me was I never, ever, ever, ever thought I would find myself on camera. I never thought that I would find myself wanting to be a correspondent, wanting to interview people, and wanting to tell their stories. Yes, I was a dancer. I grew up in the theater. At one point in high school, well, pretty much most of high school, I competed in extemporaneous speaking and cross-examination debate, even going to the national level. If you're a dancer, you're in theater, you know about improv, you know how to think on your feet, you know how to perform and interact and engage with the person across from you and next to you. And I just still, given all of those things, I never ever thought that that would happen for me. I never even wanted that. I have an MBA and student loans and that equate to having multiple degrees. And I just said, you know, I'm no longer on a stage. I'm going to focus myself creatively, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm pushing the restart button, and this is going to be my life. I'm going to work my way up to a C-suite or a corner office, you know, getting Forbes or something like that, and that's what I want. That's what I'm going to do. There was two women, very special women, that at Essence, while I was freelancing, that said, we really think that you should audition because we're launching this new video platform. And I was like, okay. I did my test. I didn't even have any makeup on. I had a little foundation, and that was it. Straight up. It's like it's almost like I was BSing. I was bullshitting myself. And I didn't really. I was like, this is not for you, Dana. You got two proposals that are due, you know, in the morning that you have to flush out. Blah 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 blah. What are you doing? And that was November of 2014. And next thing I know, that camera light comes on, and I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Even if I don't get this position, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I remember going home excited. Then I went through am I too old to make this change? I don't really know anything about this. So many people have been doing this their whole life. Am I just being silly? Am I just looking for something or trying to hold on to something because I don't have anything else really going on in my life right now? I'm making it through work. Okay, let's be clear. A lot of people go into autopilot. I didn't have a relationship. I had an ex who was crazy, who was trying to come in and out of my life, and who I was being an asshole letting him come in and out of my life. But I didn't really have anything of substance going on, and I felt like I was just this hamster in a wheel, and this being on camera and asking questions and getting to the meat and potatoes of certain situations and matters gave me life. Fast forward 2 years, I'm like, I can't do this. Not that I don't love being a correspondent, because I want to do it. I couldn't do it in that way. And that really fucked me up. Because it wasn't about money. I made really, really, really good money. Really good money. It wasn't about that. I lived in a great apartment. I had great friends. I was training for the marathon, so I'm going on my morning runs because I lived across the street from Prospect Park, and I had clothes and shoes and groceries, as my family would say. I didn't want or need for anything. I came to New York City at 18 from Alexandria, Louisiana, where the most popping club was the Future Farmers of America, and not knowing my head from my ass, I figured it out. I made it. I didn't just survive. I thrived. So I had some oomph behind me, and to have all those things that the good Lord blessed me with and still be like, I can't do it like this. I don't want to have these conversations. I enjoy talking about fashion and I enjoy talking about entertainment, but it's not all of me and it's not all of who I am. We have sexual harassment issues that were starting to rear their heads then. We have politics. We have and continue to have Black Lives Matter movement. Things are happening. And I have passionate things that I can contribute to this conversation, and being told, no, that's not the voice that we have. No, this is not a platform for that. No, we're just going to stick to safe, hurt me. Being able to just breathe and be me and ask questions that I felt people wanted to know, but I may or may not have had the liberty to ask. And I loved what I did. I loved walking into that studio. We were a mighty team of 5. I just couldn't do it anymore. I wanted to push myself more. I wanted to know, can I compete at a television level? Can I compete in general market? These are questions you're asking. I'm asking myself, because that's me wanting to be the best that I can be. And in the process, having people tell me, and people, I mean men, oh, well, you can get on with so-and-so, or you can get on with so-and-so, or you should grow your following, but you're a cute girl, you need to show more of your ass, you need to show more of your titties, you need to do this, you need to do that. If I gotta get it ugly, I don't want it. If I gotta step on somebody or cut somebody, I don't want it. Yes, I'm in an entertainment industry, and some people may say, well, if that's how you feel, then maybe you shouldn't be in this industry. Fuck it, then that's what it has to be. But I don't want to... My character is everything. My character, for me, is everything. If I can't sleep at night, I don't want it. I resigned. And then I dealt with, okay, so you're resigning, well, where are you going? I wish I had some place to go, because by not having some place to go, now people are taking it personally. And it has nothing to do with them. This is about me wanting to do something that contributes to society, that contributes to a conversation, that contributes to somebody else being able to get up and get out of bed and face whatever they have to do. And I just want to be able to have those conversations. I want to be able to tell those stories. And that is important to me. That became very important to me. We can talk pop culture, we can talk celebrity, we can do that, but I also want to be able to do something that I feel really matters. And the older you are, making that change and figuring that out, the harder it is, because the older you are, you know all the risks associated. When you're young and dumb, you don't really know shit. You think you know, but you don't really know. Okay? If you also think back to that movie, after Jerry Maguire wrote that memorandum, he lost his job. People praised him publicly, but he lost his job, and he lost his clients except for one. And it was a struggle, and it was a journey, and he realized what was important in that time. He realized who his friends were in that time, and then it was a one breakthrough moment that he still achieved success, and he achieved it in a way that meant more to him and fed him and his spirit and felt more authentic and felt more honest. And when I resigned without a job, without a place to go, with somewhat of a game plan, but honestly, I'm not gonna bullshit you, I wasn't really that sold on it, my damn self. And when I got home to New Orleans, because I decided to stop in New Orleans, there for a little while, I was there for about 3 weeks before I came out to LA to fulfill a final obligation for red carpet season, and then I was going to travel for the next year. In that process, in that time frame of me waking up in New Orleans, I had an email about an opportunity with a network, and I was like, "Oh my God! Like, this is huge. Was a huge opportunity." 6 weeks of interviews and phone calls and emails and videos and submissions and meetings later, I had to let the travel opportunity go, and because I wasn't about to leave if this was gonna come through. I ain't stupid. And then I found out I didn't get the job. And then all of these other little breadcrumbs started popping up, keeping me here in LA. And LA was not my final stop. It was not my game plan. It was not a part of anybody's plan. And this has been 9 months of maturing in a different way. I've always been very precocious, but maturing in a different way. And it's been hard. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It sucks butt sometimes. Don't get me wrong. Lots of tears, lots of prayer. Also a lot of good times. And trying to figure it out, and trying to figure out what's next, and trying to figure out what God's trying to tell me. But it's an email that I got the morning of November 5th, which was the marathon in New York City, from someone who I knew in the industry but never had a one-on-one conversation with, of support and love from a stranger. And then 2 days later, we met for coffee. And then 2 hours later, I felt like I knew her my whole life. She too left in a moment where most people would not have left, and in order to recenter herself and find herself so she could change trajectories and do things that felt more authentic to her, and more challenging. And I was like, oh my God, you get it. Like, you read about it in Forbes magazine, you read about it online, and you hear different stories here and there, but to actually have someone sitting across from you that you can touch, that you can hold hands with, and you can cry with, or a complete stranger, and they get it, was amazing. And I think the hardest part about telling his story is because I don't ever want to disrespect anyone or any place that's helped me to grow and given me such a great opportunity and opportunities. I never want to do that. I'm not that type of person. Regardless of how I may or may not have been treated, regardless of pros and cons, I don't like to leave things that way. The hardest thing I ever did was resign from my job. The hardest thing I ever did. But I think it's the most necessary thing for my growth, my development, and my spirit. And there's power in my vulnerability. There's power in me knowing that there are people who are going to see this and make their own assumptions and completely miss the fucking message. And that's fine. That's fine. This ain't for you. But for those who are thinking about pushing the reset button, and it's never, ever, 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 ever too late to push the reset button, hopefully you can find something in this and find some comfort in this. It's, for me, this journey isn't about money. The universe has always supplied me with what I need and then some. If I have my health and the health of my loved ones, after that's secured, I want to live up to this potential that's been planted in me, this thing that I've felt inside of me ever since I was a little girl, to go out and just show up 150% every day, and to do it with character, and to do it without compromising yourself, and to be honest, and to tell honest stories and have real conversations. That's what I think I was put here to do. If your spirit is telling you to move, it is okay to move. The move will not be easy. It will hurt. But then it can set you free.